Welcome. I'm getting ready for another big move here. Welcome traders, hope that you had an enjoyable trading day, and I'm looking forward to see that back-to-back two hits here. There's another one that we have taken during our, if you look at that in our previous live session, and I'm looking forward to make this market significantly here to take another potential move in this market, and I'm really excited to share this trade with all of you once we can have this move ready. By the way, in the meantime traders, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. So we had two positions that directly hit the profit target. The trade one has moved to 120 pip, trade 235 pip. Both of them taken, both of them, if we look at that, we have opened and we successfully closed in the profit direction here. Now in this analysis that I'm looking at here for potential further entry opportunity with all of you guys, as the market is trending, this is now in a trending market, and I'm looking for entry as soon as we can find. And also we'll be looking at the educational part, the technical analysis, fundamental perspective, as well as the sentiment analysis here in this market. And I hope that you are enjoying. Make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day in this live session. Thank you very much. Let me know when you are here, and you can say by two ways. You can write on the live chat, and also you can press that notification bell. Also you can just press the like button, and I'm waiting for 10 to 15 seconds so that you have that time to do that. So I know that you're here. We can begin next trading journey here. Here we are changing lives, and you guys see that this week, like every single week, we have a consistency as a trader, and that's our goal. And I believe that your goal as well. Say yes if your goal and you're ready to take your trading to the next level. Alrighty, so let's look at here to see that where things are heading. Thank you very much. Okay, so if you look at here, the market has formed a double bottom at this price action level, and with this double bottom formation, if you closely look at, we can see the market is currently in a trend, right? And with this trend, if you look at that overall picture in this market, it's on a trend, and the market structure, I would like to also will be discussing in this two successful entry that has opened, and you can see the market now picking up here. I think there isn't any scheduled news to come up, but we can look at this market once it is arriving. So if we look at the news, here is the news, and we see some high impact news has come out recently. US-Iran signal peace progress but remain at odds over enrichment uranium. So this is what I'm looking at along with our technical analysis. You can see the market just hit this previous support as resistance, and the market is in this downtrend. Now with this downtrend, if the price action goes above here to test this previous level, we are looking at here for another entry after the market managed to break this swing high here. And we will be looking at also in depth our previous 2 trades that has been posted, and you guys will be able to see that trades that develop. Now here is, you can see the market in this area here from this high, that the market has dropped off this level, which is showing that there is a potential for higher time frame move that we could see in this market. And I'm really excited to see that if the market goes to the new area of value. This is what I'm looking at 4-hour chart, that you can see the market just tested this 4-hour support, and now at this 4-hour level of resistance where there is the previous area of value. Now from the daily, we know that this is a falling market, not falling angel, but the falling market. So here the market at this point of time, as in this zone here where there is an area of value, and with this area of value, that you can see the market of this level to maintain its pattern, that the price action to have a hit here. And if you look at here, the price potentially to move out here, and if you look at here, they're looking forward to see the price action to catch that level and then to revert again back below to maintain its downtrending market structure. So you can see that here there is a W formation, and that W might be here potentially to break above. That can give a selling pressure here in that market. And I'm looking at here from the 4-hour chart, that you can see that the market has reached this previous resistance level. The price has created the channel here to the downside. So therefore, from this break or off this level, the chances for this market to extend beyond. If you look at the previous trade that we have opened after creating this extended. Now the strategy that I'm trading, you guys see that high effective strategy, very simple to know that, we are using higher liquidity, supply and demand, and just simply buying and selling of those supply and demand. That's all we need to know as a trader. Just wait for an extension, right? And then wait for the right entry opportunity. That's all. How do you know that? Where is the best area to look for? Remember, what happened in the past, that's most likely to happen, but just let it go beyond, little extended, so that you have higher edge in the market. So you can see this is the recent level of resistance that you can see, and of this recent level of resistance, the market is here at this level. Now of this level that I'm looking at for this price action, potentially to extend and then to return. You blown my account. Come on guys, we had a complete statistics that we are trading every single day. All right, we are trading every single day now, and the previous trade that we have opened and the earlier, both of this trade I have shared with all of you, and also with entry, stop loss and take profit target. And I'm bringing those trades, and I have shared the trade. Now these are the 2 trades today we have taken, and I believe you guys have seen that all those trade was shared, and I have shared the same entry, stop loss and take profit target. This is the London session trade, also have sent out in the premium group. If you guys look at that, probably you know that. Morning, thank you. And this here I have a stop loss, right? You guys see that, but it didn't go to the stop loss. It is straight went to the profit target. Now trading requires, this is what I teach you guys every single day. You see that each trade that I open, I take a smaller percentage of risk on each trade. Now, if you're trading, you see that the lot size that I use is very smaller lot, because I'm trading, I'm a real trader. I don't want to risk huge. I don't want to buy here 10 lot. I don't want to buy here or sell here 20 lot, because this is what I am aiming for. My risk is low and I don't want to over risk on each trade. Now, I have sold here 9.94 lot, and the trade didn't straight come down, right? It goes for little fluctuation. Now, if your account is $5,000 and then you can sell 10 lot, then with little fluctuation, it's gonna go to it's not gonna be able to hold the margin that you have. So don't sell 9 lot when I'm selling 0.94 lot. All right, so that's what I here in this live session. 20 lots. Yeah, so if you are selling 20 lots, then you can sell if your account is, that like $1 million or near there, depending on how much account size you have. But I don't trade on $1 million account. All right, I trade on a 100K account, and I'm just trading based on my risk. And I don't want to go for a big risk, like that's what I do. And this is very important. As a trader, you need to learn that. Now, if you need to sell 1 lot or 0.9 lot, then don't sell 9 lot or 10 lot or 20 lot. Sell only 0.9 lot and wait for the next entry. If you're in the premium group, then there is always an address for the admin. You can take the full risk management course. It's available. Just go at the top of the group and then you can find all those risk management course. Okay, so let me share with you. If you guys are on the premium group, then you can pin, go to the top of the, you see all those courses. It is on the website as well, but I have moved it to the group. Easily you can access all of that. So go to the top and look at the pinned videos, see all those risk management, and become a better trader. That's what your goal is. And I guess you understood it. And I'm sure that my nerves couldn't handle 20. No, don't go for that much of big if your account size is not that much of big. Okay, and it's important that you understand the risk management, which is very important to look at, and that's what you need to look at as a trader all the time, right? Now if you look at that, this is now the market has reached that key level of resistance here in that area. Even 5 lot for me, my psychology not yet. Look, it depends on your risk management, which is very important. As I mentioned earlier, guys, that over experience. This is what I tell you. Always look at the bigger picture as a trader, right? And when you are trading, when you experience, you will see that never trade based on, that what you have heard on news or anywhere. Trade based on the strategy. Trade what he's telling. We look at the breaking news, right? But I don't trade the breaking news. Even, what I want you to one day slowly trade yourself. Okay? You don't have to trade me. You don't have to trade anyone. You don't have to look at any news. If you know that how to trade, you can look at the news to see the sentiment. But don't trade the news, because you don't know that what will be the spread widening and how much will be the impact of the news coming. You see that every news that I look at here is to see that where the sentiment is going. It's very important, right? Always trade. That's why trading is where you have to make your own trading decision always. Here we are looking at giving you the education and how to manage the risk, in what situation you should be entering the trade. That's what the key. And I believe you guys are on the board and you understand it. And the feedback that I'm getting in the group, and we saw that, it's incredible. This is what we need as a trader, right? Learning to trade means that you gain a skill that can take you to the next level. And interestingly, you know that when I begin long ago, when I had mentors, there was a time when it came that when I am trading, it's going in the right direction. When I'm listening to the mentor, it's not going in the right direction. It happens sometime. Why? Because your brain is trained to see specific kind of pattern. Each brain is different. Sometimes you see that the way you look at the market, I'm looking completely different way. The trade that you can see that I am not seeing. And that's why when you develop that ability to see the market by your own eyes, you can become an independent trader. This is what I say. Always say that independent is because you have to be able to become an independent trader by trading yourself. Trading is a strange profession where you can have less money at the end of the day, not more. How many people work for 8 hours and lose money? Yeah, this is what we need to look at. You know that here, trading is not anything else. It's just a skill set that you need to use to become a consistently profitable trader. The skill set is your own ability to make your own decision. Whenever you can see that the market is showing you that pattern, and that's why the mentorship is important, because by yourself you can learn, but it will cost you a lot, because every mistake is a costly mistake. So it's important that you always look at the market from, look at everyone, and there is a wise quote saying that listen to everyone but make your own decision. That's how trading is. Listen to everyone but make your own decision. Make your own trading decision. And learning is here, okay? Every steps is there to learn and grow as a trader. Let's look at here what's happening now. We talked a lot about the trading psychology. Now it's time to implement it here in the market. So if you look at here, that you can see the market here at this level, which is in the key resistance level. Now you can see the market has reached that level, and we are looking at for that zone to become from that area to reject off this level, right? You can see from here it moved back to the upside, and we are looking at here in that direction. So let's look at. Okay, so this is where the market is heading. And another key important, guys, keep in mind that every day is not same. Have you looked at 2 days earlier what happened? We had back-to-back 3 losing trades, but that's fine. I got 3% minus, and then back-to-back 4 winning trades. Okay, so I got 4% plus. So that's how trading is. You'll have that losing trade, but if you go with just one single blow, that's gonna end. So always wait for the best opportunity. Trading is like that. Some trade will be winner, some trade will be loser. But the goal here is to keep yourself on the edge so that you have the most of the trade in your favor. And no one can beat that. Anyone can have an edge and then can remain profitable over the long term, because you are trading the probability, you are trading the edge, nothing else. If you backtest here, you can see the same kind of pattern is happening over and over again. All right, so let's look at here now. And I believe here I have traders who are trading here with me for years. They're consistent because they know that what they learn here, and they start to follow along. It takes time, but I'm sure that you guys will be able to get access to that as soon as you are in. And that's why you see that trading is so popular now. Hundreds of thousands of people now started trading because it's changing lives. By simply learning to trade, you are giving yourself a skill set that is will stay with you for the rest of your life. Okay, there's nothing better than trading for me in my view, that because I need anything to learn, but in trading you need nothing, just need a phone or laptop. Give some time, be patient, and keep trading. Hi sir, how are you? I'm good, thank you very much. Thanks a lot for giving London session trade setup. Yes, we looked at, now still we have the NY session trade setup that we are looking at here in this market, and I'm looking at here for another entry. Are you ready for another entry here? Ready means doesn't mean that we are going to straight away enter, but we are looking at the opportunity. Sometime you saw that I'm ready, but it took me hour to enter, or sometime I haven't entered at all. Sometime we entered straight away. So get ready, stay ready, but give yourself some time and patience to be able to trade the trend and the flow in the market. Okay. So this is what we can see from the technical aspect that we are looking at here. The trend is bearish, that you can see here, right? And with this bearish trend, if you look at that level, the market has reached that level where the market is now getting the rejection of this level. Now, what I'm looking at here, if you see that the market has rejected, now I'm not selling at the bottom at the moment, but you want to see that one more pullback here. Though there is a long wick, this is a pretty long doji. This doji might play out to drop, but I will be little patient here because there is already a green move, and I would like to see that the market is in fact rejecting off that level. You want to take the flow, right? There is a 15 minutes rejection here. The market try to pull back some of the part of it, and then once it prepare to drop, we will be looking at sell this market, and that's what you want to see here in this area to trade the market. All right, so let's see now what is happening on, thank you very much, downturn waves. Yeah, XAUUSD falling market. Yeah, the market is bearish now on gold. We can say that bearish market on gold, and thank you, making waves on downturn. Yep, yeah, this is where you can see making waves on downturn, and this is where from here, okay, initial move, and we could see the price action to eventually to fall back down to this support area, which is a key area of support that we are looking at here in this market. All right, so let's look at what is where the sentiment is now. And breaking news, as I mentioned, very important. I don't trade news, but I look at the major news that will definitely have an impact in the market, and already having that impact. And I'm trading years, and I know that how the news and other factors is playing a vital role in the market movement. And that's why you see that our accuracy is not because only I know the supply and demand or anything, but I know that where the flow is, where the sentiment of the traders, you need to be able to connect with that emotion. That means that where the traders emotion now sitting at the moment. Okay, so you see that there is an emotion here. US-Iran signals peace progress but remain at odds over enriched uranium and Strait of Hormuz toll. So there are a couple of things that now with the Iran war that we have seen that about, I think, enriched uranium and also the Strait of Hormuz toll. So that means not saying that we agreed and it's over, right? So until it says it's over, it's on, right? So we can see that, and gold is showing that bearish move. While if you look at what is happening with the oil, that the oil is, if you look at that, that's where you can see the market This is the daily price action on oil from this high here, that you can see the market is showing its downtrending move and oil. And I think that if you look at the weekly, that from this high here, this is the weekly move that you can see from this level, and with this weekly rejection, that this is the weekly low here, and here is the weekly support. Therefore, from this weekly support, the market has a chance for a reaction, because this is an uptrending market, and oil is now on a pullback, and I think the buyers will be waiting for possibly to go long. There's a gap. If you look at this, there's a gap here, and you can see this is a gap open, and with this gap open that you can see, that's a gap, right? And with this gap open, the price, what I think the oil price technically might be testing that gap and then to bouncing back to the upside of this gap level. So there is a head and shoulder. I think that this head and shoulder might be pushing that market to this gap level or along this zone. And this is, if you look at that, there is a trend line here, right? And the market most likely to break this trend line, what I think, and with the weekly close, the price might here reverse back to the upside. So with this pullback on gold, if you look at that overall picture, that shows that on gold is also on a pullback. But interestingly, sometimes it happens, you see the oil is this 4-hour bearish, gold also this 4-hour bearish. So gold is in a downtrend. Okay, so you can see the lower time frame. Boss, how much do you risk per trade? It depends on what strategy I'm using. Usually it is recommended to take 1% per trade. I trade Nikkei 225 and I see that can be a pullback tonight. Do you think checking, please? Okay, we'll be looking at. I usually place 4 contracts maximum depending on the setup. Sell on the way to the top. Yep, okay. So Nikkei, where's the Nikkei? Nikkei is what time frame you're trading. If you're trading on higher time frame, this is bull market. It's an uptrend, and if you look at that Nikkei here, tested this order block. This is the daily chart, pretty important chart, and we can see that it's a rising market. So if you look at here, that there was a consolidation, breakout, pullback to retested the order block. So it bounce off this order block on the daily, and I would say that it's gonna keep pushing high. If you look at the weekly, also there was a weekly pullback. After this green move, the market dropped to that level, and if you look at this current weekly price action, the market is just bouncing off this 10 EMA. So off this 10 EMA, the market is moving back to the upside. So if you look at that monthly, this is, I think, a new high. So therefore, without any question, I will remain bullish here on Nikkei. Unless if we see the drop, this should be that on a pullback. But if I'm trading, that I will be only looking at buying opportunity here in this market. So going into the gold chart, XAUUSD here, that we can see. Okay, so you can see that of this is the lower time frame market structure that you can see of this level, and the market drop back below here, and what we can see that this is where the market has created this bearish pattern, and we could see that moving back below. Okay, we are looking at here a pullback and then to return again back below. Okay, so simple way we will be looking at sell. This is currently in a downtrend and I'm looking at sell here. Already? I usually place 4 contract maximum depending on the setup. Okay. Yeah, having a plan is very important. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, trading psychology is very important in succeeding trading. Keep in mind, guys. And there are many trading psychology mistakes that also you need to be aware of. What are that? FOMO, fear of missing out, which is very common. What else? Confirmation bias, which is very, very common trading psychology mistakes. And this is, I would say, that one of the biggest reason why traders lose money. Confirmation bias is, you know what is that? So let's say you thought that, or somehow you think that for some reason, not you think, let's say you didn't think anything, you didn't look at anything. So what is confirmation bias? Let's explain. Let's say you didn't look at anything, didn't look at the chart, but you like someone, you idol someone, okay? You model someone, probably me or anyone. And then me or he or she or anyone said that this may be bearish or fall or anything said, and instantly sold, because in your probably in a subconscious level that you are thinking that this person is what will say will happen because he's very good at it. And then you sold. Not based on you, but because of the confirmation bias, because what you believed and you found the proof, and then it's confirming your bias. So it's very, very common trading psychology mistakes that must be avoided if you want to be successful as a trader. Okay. So therefore, then will you not follow anyone? Of course you will follow. Listen to everyone, make your own decision. That's how. Be aware when you are making decision. Am I making decision because the market is falling, or someone else told me that it's gonna fall? And then you can become a successful trader. So make sure that you always keep eye on that. In terms of the confirmation bias, FOMO, and over trading. We'll be looking at all of that shortly after. But before that, you can see the market is now on a pullback. But I know that it's subtle. Sometimes, I also fall into that trap. But once you become practice, you can practice over and over again. You can be very good at it. That's all human like that, right? But once you practice, you stick to the system, keep the risk low, then you're gonna be able to successful on that. Okay, I guess this is gonna make sense to you. On confirmation bias, fear of getting in. Elaborate. Yes. So confirmation bias in another way is saying that any of our pre-existing belief is confirmed by some external source and creates that confirmation, right? In fact, you see that sometimes people read newspaper. Actually, they don't read newspaper. They just look for the confirmation of their existing belief. Even watching TV, watching movie, any smaller videos done on YouTube, we actually don't listen. We just look for confirmation for our existing belief. So it's the way it works. But now it's time for you to take on it to the next level, to yourself, by learning here. Thank you. So what you can see here, okay, so the market, you can see that it has crossed this high here and support turn resistance, and we are looking at here for the market structure to creates is downtrending move here in that area. So we're looking at, and by the way, I believe that you are enjoying the live session we're making every single day, progress, learning, growing as a trader. So if you are enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. Okay, so the trading psychology is where you're gonna excel as a trader, which is the very important to look at. Now here is what we can see that the market, I will be looking for an entry shortly after, and with this move that you can see the price is on a pullback. We want to see that move back to the upside here. Ready? So, and here is what we are looking at for this level to move up, and I'm looking at here for a potential entry opportunity on this level. I took that. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for that. Look, learning. I am also learning, right? So it's a part of. If you look at that, learning is a process. It's a journey. Okay, it's a journey. I'm also learning every single day, and you guys also learning. And the more you learn, the smarter you will become. That's what it is, right? And it's wealth. Knowledge is wealth, and the more you'll get, the more you'll get rich, and the more you'll look at. You live and you learn. Yeah, exactly. Now, this is what exactly. Keep in mind, guys. So remember that one here. Two things. One is that by the way, I'm looking to see a potential trade here. We'll be going back to that, but we can see there is a key level that we could see a rejection. I think there is no recent high impact news. What do you think here? And I'm seeing that there is a potential for an entry in this area. This 5 minutes price action that you can see can create potential entry opportunity here in this market, and which is very important to look at. Sometimes it's not a lack of knowledge issue, but perpetual learning instead of implementing what you know and improve on it. Sometimes it is not lack of knowledge issue, but perpetual learning instead of implementing what you know and improve. Exactly. Very good point. Very good point. Exactly. Another thing is, guys, keep in mind that this is the crucial point. Sometimes it's not learning. It's more of unlearning. Okay, so now we are looking at an entry at this level. We will be, here is the market is testing that level, and we are looking at here in this area for another wave of move. Sometimes the smartest people are the worst traders because they overthink everything. Exactly. True. Because it becomes a habit of, like looking at every detail, and that creates an overthinking tendency, right? Which is very, very, very common, especially in terms of trader. And in trading is it's hard. Even if you are winning, it is still hard. It's still hard. How many of you have experience? I have a lot that closing winning positions many times, right? Even if you are winning, it's hard. Because it happens is, let's say you open a trade and has gone to the stop loss. Okay, and then you open another trade, has gone to the back-to-back 2 stop loss in, I would say that 90% very good trader will get mentally weaker in the third trade. Lose that much initial confidence will lose. So in the third trade, when the market is coming down, okay, in let's say it has come down to the profit, near to the profit, halfway, and then gone to the entry, most of them will close. But that trade might be a pretty big winning trades. That's why it's hard. It's a winning trade, but it's still hard. Is because the way it is, right? The only way to overcome is by staying long enough in trading, right? Give yourself some time. And if you look at the brain, okay, this is the human brain. Okay, 3 part of it. Frontal lobe, where thinking. This is the amygdala, and this is the limbic system. The reptilian brain, where we have the spine. And now this midbrain is what the emotional brain, right? That midbrain doesn't have any language ability. So this is the language brain, the process, the language. This midbrain doesn't understand any language. It only read the emotion. It only read the emotion. So it responds to the emotion. For example, anything fearful, will send a signal to the brain that fight or flight. So something is fearful. If it is, that weak enough, fight it. If it is a strong enough, fly from it. Even in a bigger scale. In a bigger scale, in the same way it applies, right? In a war, same thing, right? It's the way it is, like, because all are combined the human brain ability. So that's why when two stronger force on a war, two things happen. Okay? The weaker one, when they think that they are strong enough, then you see that sometimes if you look at the movies and all the historical data, they surrender because fight or flight. So you can't compete, then flight or fight. Have you ever seen any movie that in the middle of the war they just handshake and say that, okay, we make friendship 50-50, let's go away? It doesn't happen. Either fight or flight. So this is how the human brain is designed in every aspect of it. So that is why if you look at that in trading, it's the same way it works. Either fight or flight, and the fear create that response happens. So if you look at that, when we are opening a trade, that the brain also, when it is fearful, the brain also goes to fight and flight response. But over time, once you give enough time, you gain experience, and that becomes much more easier. Okay, so that's what happened. Alrighty, so let's look at here now with our next trade. What are you looking at? At this level, you can see the market is on here in this zone. This is back-to-back 3 smaller price action that you can see on the 5 minutes. Thank you. Okay, so here it's tested this 20, and I think that in this zone we might be able to find an entry shortly after that. I'm looking at here in this area to see that where the market is creating this structure here in this area. And I'm trying to identify area of value. That's a good point. So if you look at here, this is the impulse that if you are trying to, I'm also in the same journey. So here, if you look at, this is what I'm looking at here, drop to this and now on a pullback. So I'll be looking at few confluences. This is what I'm looking at. If you look at the Fibonacci from this high to this low, the market is approaching the 38.2% Fibonacci level, and with this 38.2% Fibonacci, if you look at the previous resistance level is here, and with this previous resistance, if you closely look at that, you can see in that area that the price action after this move, and it's now approaching this that what is called the head and shoulder that you could see in that area forming. And off that head and shoulder, if you look at this market is trying to push back here, there is a break, Now once we see the market has shown that pattern, that the market structure potentially to revert here back below, we will be looking at a possible sell entry here in this area. Now here is where you can see the market has reached this key zone where the previous resistance, and I think if you look at that, there is already a head and shoulder pattern formation here in this area. And I would like to look at the multiple time frame. This is the 4-hour price action that you can see already the market has shown that there is a possibility for a downtrending move and going up here. If you look at the 1 hour, it's almost there to the upside. The candle open on the 1 hour chart. It's significant move back to the upside here. Now the market has reached this key area of value, and we had our previous square. If you trade in this zone here, I'm looking at there is a rejection, so looking at to see that the market is in fact reacting to that level. $15 bullish engulfer, look for buys. I'm not ignoring that point, but here is the 4 hour. If you look at that 4 hour, if this 4 hour candle close like that, yes, there is a possibility for a move up. But for me, what I think is still there is a potential for a drop back down below here that you can see after this few long week rejection. So if you look at that 15 minutes bullish engulfer, that yeah, there is a 15 minutes bullish engulfer, but what do you see the trend? The bigger flow is here, right? The overall trend that you can see, you're trading against the major trend. The major flow here is bearish that you can see. Therefore, I will stick to the trend, and it moved. It gone too fast. Otherwise, I will look to sell here, but that's fine. I miss a lot of trades, and that's the part of trading. So the more you will be missing is the more you will be winning. The market will give you, if you sit down in front of the chart, let's say 10 hours, okay, if you sit in front of the chart 10 hours, as we are looking at, let's say 1 minute chart, and if we use the higher time frame, you're gonna get at least 20 very, very attractive profitable setup or more. if you see down 10 hours. So therefore, you don't have to trade all of them. In fact, that's where the secret is, because the more you'll be able to let go of those trades, the better you'll have your trading decision. The reason is, you see, there are two worlds that we live in. Every one of you, what I'm saying is ultimate for the universal truth for everyone. Like you see the electric socket that you put on the wall, the pin, the light bulb, you see that they are universal, same for everyone. We have two worlds that we live in. One is the outer world that we see, the TV news and chart, parents, sister, brother, listen to everyone. This is the outer world. There is another inner world where we only speak to ourselves. Either we know or don't know. Everybody speak to themselves. That's the inner world, right? So our decision is mostly governed by inner world rather than the outer world. Okay. So now, how does that implies in trading? If I say to myself over and over again that I'm missing a lot of trade, I'm missing a lot of trade. By saying few times, you actually activate a signal in the brain to trade urgently, because I'm missing a lot of trade. That's called the FOMO, or the fear of missing out. So what will happen next time, without looking it properly, we might look for entering a trade because I'm missing a lot of trade. You see how it directly influences your decision because of what you say to. So therefore, if you say to yourself, okay, I will miss a lot of trade, but I will not be entering any trade that doesn't go as per my system or strategy, then you create a filter for your decision. That's very important to look at. Did you enter to the trade or no? I haven't. If I enter, I would definitely let you know, guys, so you can look at. The liquidity on 1 hour time frame. If you look at the 1 hour here, that the market a little choppy, that you can see in this area, and with this choppy market, the previous, if you look at, we still have 52 minutes for this candle to close. But if this 4 hour candle closing like that, we might see another one to the upside. But before this 4 hour candle close, once we can see that the market shows an upside breaking, and I think this market, if we look at the long-term picture, it might here range. Okay, so there is a possibility here for this market to go ahead even after the 4 hour candle close, somewhere here. Okay, or even here. Let's look at the daily. That will give us more better understanding of where the market is heading. So this is the daily level. There is a chance for this price action to break this resistance line and then to return again here back below. Okay, and that is one high possibility scenario that you could see on XAUUSD. So this is one could be that the market might be doing. Did you enter on the trade or not? Yeah, not yet. Okay, so we have an in that area that we are looking at. It's picking up here. So you can see that there is an initial move back to the upside here in this area, and that can create an upward pressure here. And I think I will still be looking to sell if we see the market has got overbought here in this area. Yeah, there is a possibility for breaking up and then to return again back below. Now looking at the weekly price action here, if you look at the weekly, let's look at the multiple time frame analysis to see that the weekly market structure and also the monthly. So the monthly price, we saw that though I'm trading on lower time frame, I always renew the chart. Okay, that's what I call the beginner mindset. This is another concept that really helps. Beginner mindset. Okay, in anything, beginner, because everything is changing, right? What you saw in the morning, now it became night. It's changing. The water that you have seen on the pond yesterday also changing. There is some dry out. The volume of the water changes. Everything is changing. So when everything is changing, if you look at the chart also changing. So you need to look at the beginner mindset. That means unlearn everything and then relearn. What you said in 5 minutes ago, let's look at again to see if this is what is now we are going with it. So if you look at that, the market also constantly changing. So therefore, if you look at the monthly here, that the price has from the monthly at this support here, this is the previous monthly support. This month the market has come back here, and this is the monthly opening. Let's look at the weekly here, which is the price is approaching the weekly level. And looking at daily here, okay, today's market, one thing that we can look at here is that if you look at the previous daily, you see the previous daily doji. Okay, now this daily doji, if you look at here, the lower shadow is 540 pip, right? So if you draw a support at the 50%, this is the 50% of the previous daily long wick. And if you look at the upper shadow, also you can look at the 50% of the upper shadow, which is at 4557. Now what we have seen, the market tested this lower shadow and is still in that, but it didn't go out or up to break the upper shadow. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to figure out, that if the gold is going to bounce back up. So the market did not test the daily resistance yet. This is one thing that we can look at. From the 1 hour is the market structure. So for me, it's not very convenient to think that trade will go up. Okay, it might range here a bit more time. You can see that here there is a trend line, and this is the trend line that you can see where the market is having a rejection, another rejection, another rejection. So the multiple times the market is rejecting off this trend line, and therefore slowly it try to push back here to the upside and could trend back down here. Now the way we analyze, if you look at and with patience, that's what we trade, right? Have you been in the premium group? Have you seen that how we are trading every single day? And I'm excited to share with you those trades that I have earlier sent out in the group. So if you look at, I'm bringing it here just for your education. This is the 5-minute chart that you can see. The first one that I have opened in London session, and in this live session, as you guys see that. And off this level, this is a high probability entry area. And off that level, if you look at, the market has dropped down to the profit target, right? This is the trade one. And then I was waiting. The market, if you look at this, this is what I always explain. You see that here, this is a high area of value. See that how the market has moved to that high area of value. Exactly to that liquidity zone, the price has moved with one single impulse. And with one single impulse, the market has reached that and have sold again. And this kind of trade that I wait for. And the same trade was sent out in the group, and also I have shared the actual trade that I have taken in the group with the full entry, stop loss, and take profit target. So we are those trades that I have shared in the premium group. Now this is Friday. The premium group, I cannot guarantee how many days we can take members directly from here, as it's growing and we are growing all together. You guys see that we have an unbelievable trading results, and we did because of the effort and education that we are placing here. So it's still open for you to experience the best trading education, in my opinion, to enjoy and to learn and to grow as a trader with me, with hundreds of thousands of members. So I'm sharing the premium group link here now in the chat. Also, you can find just below this video the first link. You can be connected by joining there, where you can directly access every trade that I'm opening with all the indicators, education, regular trade setup, breakdown, analysis, and everything. So one-stop learning zone that can change how you trade the market, and also you can change other people's life as well by learning to trade, by becoming a consistent trader. So this is the link that given. You can check out and stay connected. This is a learning way that can that will change your entire trading overview or the outlook, how you look at the market. Okay, so now going back to the chart, so we have looked at here, as I mentioned, this is still, when the market remain like this in a consolidation, it's like less likely to suddenly go out, because the consolidation remains, the market remains within the consolidation for some period of time. That's the way the market moves. When it is a trend, yes, it could still have a breakout. Right now, with this movement, that you can see the current market sentiment. Okay, so we have some I think after this one we looked at. So in another news here, Pakistani army chief is on his way to Tehran. So I think there is some negotiation news. Okay, so that how we can see that have, okay, so we can see that some downtrending move on oil, right? So you can see that here the oil is on a downtrend, and I think that downtrend could bring that market below here to this support area. And with this movement, if you closely look at the weekly chart here, the market is coming down here on the weekly. From the monthly, if we look at almost we are end of the month, and this is this month's low is here. So if you look at this month's low is here, and with this month's low, there is a potential for the market to eventually, yes, all down. Yeah, we can see that. And so all down is because some of the news has come for the possible negotiation on the war. I think that's creating some ease in the oil traders. So they are selling oil, shorting. So therefore the market now is potentially creating that move, and we'll see that it could be that tonight the market remain here bearish, and until the next week to see that what's happened over the weekend. If let's say a peace negotiation reached and enriched uranium, the dispute is solved, then we could see that oil potentially creating a new lower low. That could happen. If not, over the weekend, anything not going as that is, then you could see that oil after breaking below, then the market might be going up and creating a new higher high. So this could be the potential here on WTI. Now to look at on gold perspective, you can see that gold is here in a sideways movement that you can see, and at the moment after creating this high, it's breaking below. So I'm still not directionally in any direction on oil, on gold at the moment, but overall trend here that you can see is bearish, right? So therefore open to open in any direction. So we're looking for some volume in this area here, right? And with this doji, that looking for to see the market to create its pressure back below here in this area. And if we see the market successfully break that low here, we are looking at in this market to deepen back below. So after this initial move, we can see the market is from the, if you look at this 4-hour candle close. So look here, now it's showing that there is a possibility for a moving down back below here in that area. Okay, because there are a green candle crossed that high and created this another red candle here. So it's if you look at that, it's a pretty sharply bearish market so far that you can see here. So the 15 minutes that you can see after this 15-minute bullish engulfer, that you can see there is a doji has created this momentum back in this area. So there is an imbalance back below here. Therefore the bias, now we can see there is a possibility for moving here down. Why do you use EMA 20 and 10 together? most question, gold is moving a lot because of volatility. Gold doesn't move this much normally. Okay, so the first question with the EMA. So I do use both EMA because there is a really good significant, and many of my strategy that I trade is based on the EMA. So the reason I use two EMA, one is fast, one is slow. And crossover of 10 and 20 EMA, you see that it really creates a good effect in the market, and more often the market changes trend with the crossover of these EMS, and how far the market from those EMS determines also potential pullback. Now, so if you look at that, how far the market from those EMS, and also when the market is hitting those EMS, also it's important to look at. So these are some of the things that EMA does. There are many other factors also I discussed in the course. If you are on the course, you can look at that. This question, gold is moving a lot because of volatility. Gold doesn't move this much normally. So gold is moving a lot is mainly, no, gold move. If you look at, let me look, I would say that now gold is less volatile than before. Let me tell you guys where the gold move starts. You see that, look at the monthly, and you see that all those monthly candles, these green candles, there was a huge volatility move happen on gold, and then another big move. Now it comparatively dropped. The previous months was, I would say, that is the smallest move in this whole move. This month we have seen the first 3 weeks also still not that much of this year. And the reason gold moves is because two reasons. One is gold doesn't have to even move. If you see that US dollar is moving, gold also moving, because we're trading against US dollar, right? One thing. Secondly is gold, dollar and JPY, they are considered as safe haven. So the market usually fluctuate from risk on to the risk of sentiment. When there is an uncertainty, global uncertainty, such as any kind of things that creates an uncertainty, usually the traders lean towards the safer investments, such as DXY, that means dollar index, or dollar, XAUUSD, that means, or spot on gold, or JPY pairs. So these are the reason why gold is volatile. With the current volatility, another reason that gold is moving, which is, I would say, that very important reason, is that the traders volume increases a lot, right, on gold. Traders volume, because without volume, how the market will move? There must be volume in it, right? So the traders volume increases. More and more people now trading gold, and that's why gold is moving. You guys is trading, I'm trading. Like now, retail traders volume increases, and therefore gold is moving, and we can trade as well accordingly based on what is happening. Gold, smart money are buying will go up. I'm trading silver. That's 9 or 20 EMA. So 10 and 20 EMA on the 5-minute chart, and yes, indeed, yes. So trading silver and trading gold, I would say that the similar thing, just a little different. Usually I trade gold, and I used to trade silver as well, but they almost move in the same direction. So, you know, if I'm trading gold, then I'm not gonna end up, that opening two positions for the same instrument. They usually move in the same direction. So you see that there is a liquidity sweep. This is a possible rejection of this price here. So there is a liquidity sweep, and I think there might be here two possibility, one to go up again, the other possibility to drop again. So this candle, usually this kind of candle can create a both directional bias. Silver high volatile. I don't think it's more volatile than gold. No, silver is not more volatile than gold. There are some volatility, and I normally prefer to trade gold. Sticking to the gold is better. Silver's volatility is unpredictable. Sometimes it becomes unpredictable. They move in the same direction, but sometimes it becomes unpredictable. So with a doji on the 5 minutes, this is showing that there is a possibility for trend continuation here, and so the 30 minutes candle is carrying rejection of this. There is a possibility for 4512. What do you think? And we are seeing some here. We want to see that pullback here, back above. There's a 50 minutes candle close coming. I'm not entering yet, but looking to see what could be potential move. Okay, so there is a false breakout above this level that you can see, and I'm looking at here for, because I wouldn't keep a very large profit target of this level, and I will be looking at selling this market of this. It's gonna be a sell by market. This is the third trade of today, and I'll target here only 80 pip for this potential drop, and I want to keep a high probability trade setup regardless of anything else. The win rate is very important, right? Taking profit is important. And 452910, stop loss at 452910, an entry by market that I'm using. It's moving faster here. So I've opened sell here. So I've opened here that sell trade, and I'm looking to see that the market to remain here potentially bearish. There is an imbalance back below. So you want to take this short move here for this not many pip, around 77 to 80 pip. But I will be happy to take that as the market has shown that there is a liquidity gap potentially to come back to the support area. It's a falling market, and I'm looking at here for the market structure to break that low here. It's a downtrending market, and the volume might come here as the market start to fall back below. Tight risk, there's a head and shoulder. There is the order block here. Let's look at my entry was a little late, but I'm running in profit. That's the main thing that I'm looking at here. And I believe you are also there. Make sure you like and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. We want to keep that win rate intact with a very high win rate. Setting one contract. Okay. Now we want to see a successful break below here. Okay, breaking below can give us that move that we are looking at. It is currently in a falling market, so some support resistance might try to buy, but it's a falling market, so you have traded the trend. And anytime I'm still running in, but if I'm closing, I'll let you know, guys, because this is a falling market and I want to hold it. And it might go, it's not a big profit target, but so we're looking at. Cool. That's hit the profit target. TP hit here. That's very good. And you see that the patience pays off. This is what I was telling you guys, that patience pays off, which is very important to look at when you are trading. And you see that when I have entered, when the market eventually got tired of going up, right? You have to wait for the right entry opportunity. Got it? And we have taken that, and I have shared the same trade. Now, how many people we have taken here? Let's look at that. Nearly to 77. It might vary a little bit because, you know, everyone has a different set of entry. But the key here is that you have taken that. This is if you look at that, this is a market that is ranging, and I wouldn't expect it to go lower here, but it can go. I'm not selling here at the moment because it's a highly ranging market. So there is still could be that the market to reverse here back of this. But, you know, successful entry too. We had few losing trade, but we have successfully closed. And the key here is that when we are winning, we have to give that. I'm also out. It's hit the TP. Stop out of one contract. Okay, so I wouldn't prefer to enter like that. I just look at one trade and then just got it. Thank you. It's very important that you know that you always keep the pace. And I guess you enjoyed. Say yes if you enjoyed, and say yes if you have taken profit. It hit. We don't have to take profit. It hit the profit target. That's cool. That's cool, guys. And that looks like liquidity gap to the upside. It was a liquidity grab to the upside. Now, if you look at the 4 hour, the market has dropped to that 4 hour support. So because the market has dropped to this 4 hour support, the chances for this market to remain here in that area is, if you look at that of this level, we could see that reaction back here in that market. So this is a, if you look at that, which is a pretty long week candle in this area, and I'm looking forward to see that. If you look at here, after this, it's on a pullback. It still can break below further of this level, but we have traded. You can see there is a, if you look at the 5 minutes, this is this candle that you can see, it's a pretty strong bearish candlestick pattern. And I was waiting for this. If you look at, if you remember that I was from here, I was saying the market is still go up or can come down. But once this has broken back below, that we know that there's at least 1 or 2 more candle to form below, as there is an imbalance. And that's the whole basis of the entry. And it worked out exactly as we planned it. That's why it says that plan your trade, trade your plan. That is the secret of becoming a profitable trader. Okay, trade your plan, plan your trade, all right, and also plan your trade, which is important. Now, what we can look at here, that it's still maintaining the downtrend, and we are looking at here in this area that the market to have come down to the another new support area. Okay, so once we see the market has come to the new support area, from here I'm looking at this market to eventually break below, and then to possibly to trend here. We see that there is a still showing that there is potential for further downside back below in this market. And by the way, 3 things you can do now is, if you enjoy, make sure you like, and also if you haven't subscribed, you can do so. And stay connected by joining. If you can find the link below this video for the this is a premium Telegram currently available for short period of time to join and to become part of this trading community where I'm trading every single day and also sharing every trade that I'm using to trade the market. So of this support, the market now in this lower time frame trying to pick up back above here, and that could create a pressure here back to the upside in this market. And what you could see that of this level, the market structure so here is the previous key level that you can see of this zone, and with this key resistance line, if you closely look at, you can see the market has come back to that level here, and this is where there is a key zone that we are looking at for this market. What I think that could be breaking here above and then to return again back below. So with this support here that you can see, the market is slowly creating that pressure back to the upside here, and So the Qatar has sent negotiating team to Tehran in coordination with the US to help secure a deal to end Iran war. RTRS source. Okay. Okay, so you can see there is a break here of this, which is maintaining that downtrend. How does here that you can see on WTI started to bounce off this level. So we can see that at the end the oil is trying to pick up, and okay, so here is the market on this support area here, and we have 3 successful entries in this area here that I'm looking forward to see that the market to show another trading opportunity here. And you can see the market has broken the support area here, and with this break of support the price action might be coming back below to create a new lower low that you could see here in that area. And with this movement that I'm looking at here in that area, for the price action to eventually break that low that you could see here in that area. So this is a falling market. We can see this, still the market is in a downtrend, and in this falling market that I'm looking forward to see that the price action here to remain in the major direction of the flow. And so you can see that here, this is where there is a support. So from the 4 hour that you can see, the market already has, as soon as the candle closed, the support has broken. So therefore this is a falling market now at the moment. And with this falling market of this level here, that looking to see that the market structure to break this resistance and then to return again back below here in the major direction of the flow that we are looking at here in this market. So therefore we are looking at here this market structure potentially to revert again back in the direction of the major flow. You can see that here on the lower time frame the market trend is showing that there is a downtrending market structure that being formed. So if you look at, as soon as the 4-hour candle close, the new candle open, and with this candle close, new candle open of this level, that looking forward to see the market to return again in the direction of the major trend. Price has reached that key level that we are looking to see, and of this key level, if you look at that, the market has moved to that area of value, and here is what I'm looking at for the market structure to show its pattern. Now this is a key level of resistance that you can see of this level. This is in fact a sharply falling market, and now in this falling market we will be able to see that further entry as soon as it appears in that zone here. By the way, I would like to see that that all members are ready for if there is any entry. So liquidity grab to the upside. So USD going down, then it's going 4500. Yes, So that you can see here in that area, the market is going down here. Yep, that you can see of this level. Now the market is in this key level that you can see here in that area. So you're seeing the move here on lower time frame shows that possible further downtrend continuation here in this market, which is creating further selling pressure that could remain here bearish for the longer term picture. It is going to 4500. It's almost there. It's almost to the 4500, and I think that of this level, if you look at that market structure, we could see that the price action to taking profit. Are you running still? We have taken the first trade profit target hit, and I'm looking at here this market to eventually break that low here, and we could see that the market structure to remain here in the major direction of the flow, and that's what we could see that here, that the price action to break the low and then maintain its downtrend in that area. So the longer term picture that you can see, it's in a sharp downtrend, and you could see that continuation here. For me to look for another entry, we want to see that a strong breakup structure, and that is what you could see the price action to creates its momentum. You can see that gold started to break that low, which if you look at that WTI, which is the oil price, is picking up here, right? So the oil price is going up. At least we can see there isn't any strong drop. We can see last hour there is a break back to the upside on oil price, so which is showing that WTI might be here breaking to the upside on this. If you look at that on XAUUSD here, showing that there is a potential for move here back in that area. So if you look at the lower time frame, here is the move. This is where also the doji price action, the lower time frame also showing that there is still in a downtrend, and with this downtrending move, the market structure might be here falling strongly back below. That is what we are seeing here in this market. Very sharply falling market, and so few price action pattern here in that area. And with this few price action pattern that we can see of this level, looking forward to see the market structure to show its price action, and from that level we will be looking at for potential trading opportunity in that area. As soon as you can see the market has shown this price action, and we are looking at entry along this area. So the market structure is still bearish, and with this bear market, looking forward to enter as soon as we can see the deeper pullback. And we are always ready for more entries along the way as soon as it appears, and that's what we see. Sometimes we take 1 trade, 2 trades, sometimes no trade, but the goal here, guys, is to keep the consistency. That's what you need to look at as a trader, and I believe you are here with this. And as you can see that every day, every trade that I'm opening, also sharing the full analysis breakdown as well as the full details of each trade that I'm opening each day. So here is, if you look at this market structure from this here, from this key level, that you can see the market has dropped back below to this support area, and with this movement, this is showing that in a downtrend, and I'm looking at for more entries later today with whenever the market shows that price action pattern is forming. So that being said, guys, this is the second live and also the weekend live, and tomorrow coming up weekly forex forecast, and also each week that I'm each day, every single day I'm coming on live twice, and also sharing the full breakdown as well as the trade analysis that I'm sharing here in this live session as well as in this channel. If you enjoyed this session, if you made money, you like the trade, make sure you stay connected for more, not to miss out any of that. Stay connected. That being said, thanks for joining, and I'll see you again in our next live very soon, coming shortly after. Until that, stay well, stay